I recently discovered a historical brooch hidden in the bottom of a box containing the rarely seen Benedict Arnold family documents and letters, and I wanted you to be some of the few individuals to ever see the Arnold family heirloom. Today on Generations Found. I have been given the honor of accessing original Benedict Arnold family documents and letters. I have been reading many of the original handwritten letters from Benedict Arnold's wife, Peggy Shippen Arnold, on our YouTube podcast on this channel. Make sure you check that out. I recently returned to the University of Denver, where there are 2 boxes of family documents that were donated by an Arnold heir decades ago. While reviewing these documents in their special collection room, I noticed there was a small jewelry box hidden under all the file folders. Something I know was not cataloged as being in the box. Upon opening the jewelry box, to my surprise, was an antique brooch of a man dressed in a colonial-era British uniform. At first, I thought to myself, is this a never-seen portrait of Benedict Arnold? But on further examination, I realized it was one and only portrait of his son, Richard Arnold. You see, there are no other known portraits of Richard that I can find, and this box once belonged to Richard's granddaughter, so I knew this was for sure Richard. Let's see my reaction to finding this rare portrait of Richard Arnold. So let's see what else we have in here. What is this? Ooh, it's like finding treasure. So let's see what this is. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This is a find. Oh, wow. So let's read what this says. It says, Richard Arnold, that's his son of Benedict Arnold, 22 August 1769 to 9 November 1847, buried in Port Sonora, Canada. Not sure if that's what that says. I have to look to see where he is, but look at that. Wow. Look at that. That is a find. So this is a cameo of Benedict that's at, I want to say Philadelphia Historical Society. Anyways, this is the cameo we just discovered in the box, and they didn't even have this recorded of its existence, that it was here. And let's see how much they look alike. Here is Benedict's brooch next to the newly found brooch of Richard Arnold. When I first saw it, I thought he was wearing a British uniform, but I was mistaken, especially now that I see him next to his father, who is wearing a traditional British uniform. What do you think? Do they look like father and son to you? I think they do, and it tells me that Benedict's image is most likely a good depiction of him. The brooch of Benedict was titled London, Portrait of Brigadier General Benedict Arnold, 1782 to 1783, by an unknown artist. This would have been 2 years after his defection. I have read that this miniature was made for his family. I believe the brooch is now in the hands of the American Revolution Museum, but I am not 100% sure. If you know, let me know down in the comments. These miniature brooches were popular in the 18th and 19th century. Their dimensions are about 1 to 2 inches and are usually watercolor paintings on ivory, housed under glass, and the housing around the picture is usually silver, gold, or a gilded metal pendant frame. These portrait miniatures remained popular until the development of the daguerreotype and photography in the mid-19th century. They were usually intimate gifts given within the family and by hopeful males in courtship. They were especially likely to be painted when a family member was going to be absent for a significant period, such as going to war or immigrating, or a daughter getting married. There is an online museum completely dedicated to these images called Michael's Museum. They have a vast collection of antique portrait miniatures, objects of mourning, and more. As far as I can tell, there is not a brick and mortar museum, just the online displays. You should check them out. They're at michaelsmuseum.com. Let's talk about Richard for a moment. As I mentioned before, these boxes contain family documents, family trees, a scrapbook, handwritten letters, and now this brooch. All these treasures belong to Richard's granddaughter. She did a great job preserving all these treasures for us to see. One thing I have learned about Richard in my excursion through the letters in the box, he did not care for his stepmother, Peggy Shippen Arnold. Richard was Benedict's second oldest son with his first wife, Margaret Mansfield. Arnold had 3 sons by his first wife, Benedict, Richard, and Henry, all of whom had remained in the United States after the defection. Their eldest died fighting in Jamaica for the British. Peggy wrote him several times from England after Benedict's death, and she mentioned several times that he had not responded to her. Richard and his brother were raised by Benedict's sister Hannah. After their mother died and Benedict was working or off at war, Hannah took care of the boys as if they were her own. Once Benedict and Peggy married, simple Hannah did not care for Peggy's extravagant ways. So, I am sure she passed her feelings on to the boys. Hannah continued to care for the boys into adulthood. 5 years after Benedict's defection, in 1780, Benedict, Richard, and family moved to New Brunswick, Canada, where they established the West Indies Trading Company. Following a series of bad business dealings, the family returned to London. But Richard and Henry stayed behind, eventually settling in Ontario, Canada, to escape their father's shadow. Richard married Margaret Weatherhead and had several children. There isn't much about Richard on the internet or in the archives, but there is a wealth of information about him and his descendants in these family boxes at the University of Denver. So make sure that you stay tuned to more great Arnold information. I hope you enjoyed being some of the first to see and hear about this hidden brooch of Richard Arnold. Don't miss further explorations into the archives with Generations Found, where we take deep dives into these vaults. We would love your continual support of this channel by subscribing, hitting the notification button to all, commenting, and giving us a thumbs up. It really helps us continue to bring you these historical gems. And remember to be kind in everything you do, including the comments you make.